All right, y'all. Today we want to talk about trust-based philanthropy. So for my foundations and for my nonprofits, we want to hear from you on this topic, but we wanted to kick it off with a little bit of a conversation. We work with a few foundations and a ton of nonprofits who are engaging with this approach to philanthropic endeavors. And we wanted to share some things that we've learned about this process and this approach. It's a very popular way of doing philanthropy. It's a very important way of thinking about rebalancing power, but it's also complicated, and we want to get into a little bit of that part of it too. Sometimes it's really hard to talk about something that the entire field is really championing, and you don't want to be that voice who is either the Debbie Downer or the one that's going against the grain sometimes, for all kinds of reasons. But we also want to be real about when we're testing these philosophies. Sometimes it's not going as well as we had hoped, or there are sometimes places where we don't really understand how to do it well, or when it's not going well, what to do to make it better. So I wanted to give a couple of ideas of what we're thinking about when we're working with our foundations and our nonprofits when we're navigating this, because this is a reciprocal relationship. It's not just up to philanthropy and foundations to make it work. It's also the nonprofit's participation in this relationship as well. So one thing we wanted to talk about, and then we'd love to open it for conversation, is about accountability. And what does that look like? Very quickly, just want to briefly mention, accountability is very much about a power dynamic and who holds the power. Oftentimes when we're thinking about trust-based philanthropy, it's about putting power back in the hands of the nonprofits. But the reality is that our nonprofits also need support in building their capacity. So even though they are subject matter experts in the fields and the communities that they are supporting, they sometimes might not be the experts in how to build institution around their mission. And this is where philanthropy can be really helpful if they understand how to navigate the privilege and the power that they hold to be not only a leader with the nonprofit, but also a support and a listener to the nonprofit, and be able to measure that balance so that they can be able to participate in the process with their foundation and with their nonprofit as well. So I'd like to get into this conversation. Stay tuned for another aspect to this because it's a deep topic and we love it, and we're so privileged to be working with our foundations and nonprofits on this approach.